On January 14th,
The homegirl cherry,
2010,
dude.
Christian filmed a video in which he sings his own lyrics over a remix by musician Moby of the song Mr. Plow, written for an episode of the cartoon series The Simpsons.
Say, what's the name? Christian Chandler. What's that name? Christian Chandler. What's the name? Christian Chandler. CHRISCHAN. Say, what's the name? Christian Chandler. You don't need to worry, I'm drawing here.
That is-
Drawing with pen and marker.
He then attempts to play a harmonica.
He's got
A
every
day
musical
later,
bone in
he
his
made
body.
a brief video for the attention of Jack Thaddeus, Alec Benson Leary, Sean August Watley, creator of the comic 𝙳ዐΣεν⁰ is Dead and regular
wow.
contributor to the Asperpedia, and the webmaster for the aforementioned website, Mao Bamboo Ling.
This message is
Did
for
he say Chi-Chi?
Alec,
I don't know.
Sean, Evan, and even Mao. You know what? I dare you four, all four of you, to come to my house and we'll see who stacks out better. The original or you crappy copiers?
I still stand by my take from like the past couple of from like last stream. I think it still fathoms me the fact that nobody came to Chris's house to like attack him, to like physically attack him or physically hurt him or his family. Because like I doubt Chris had any security, right? And with everyone knowing Chris's address, like it fathoms me that there was no like crazy, insane, maniacal troll that would just show up to Chris's house to like actually physically harm him. Like it's a blessing. It is a miracle that never happened.
As usual, I will have 2 more pages tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the last page where Crystal finally got out of the mirror. But recently, I am reminded of an old Spanish expression which goes simply as "Tú necesitas ucrepsa eta y usino se va para ganar felicidad por vida." A couple of strong verbs in that statement.
I feel if that ever did happen, his parents then would have finally taken the internet away from him. I don't know. Because I feel like there has been so much shit that has already happened, and Chris still has open access to the internet and all that. Like, Chris still has this crazy autonomy. You can say that, like, a physical attack might have been the last straw for them, but I don't even want to think about that. Like, I don't even want to think about the what if on that.
Ucrepsa eta. Ucrepsa eta.
You are so weird.
Usinos evil. Usinos evil.
You are so weird.
Alright. Stay safe and have a good day.
Peace, Chris.
His spree of verbal assault continued into January 17th, when, under Vivian G's advice, Chris reviews the entirety of the Asper True story so far and criticizes it.
I am here at this point recording this video to make it perfectly clear, although it was a bit of a mistake for that last video I made. But you know
He
what?
didn't say
Regardless of
anything.
that video, I should not have had to make such a video, because I could just show you all the evidence.
I think it would have been low-hanging fruit if they did physically attack him, and what the trolls want is just to laugh at him. That is true, but it's the fact that he was like, that he had de-doxed himself like so much that basically the trolls knew, like during these early times, basically knew Chris's every like moment, like every movement, like where Chris was at all times. And that's gotta be terrifying, like on the internet. And like my thing is just like the what if. Like the fact that like, because that never happened, at least as far as I know. Nobody ever physically harmed Chris. People just like made fun of him, just wanted to laugh at him and destroy his mental state, I guess. Which, I mean, you can argue it might be even worse than physically harming him.
First off, just to name a few things, there are the obvious.
Holy shit. Oh my god. I just found the fattest cockroach. Dude, my room is not disgusting. Why was there a cockroach? Oh wow. Yo, I'm really proud of how I reacted. I'm actually really proud of my reaction on that. Y'all want to see the wall or no? Because Oh my god, that is disgusting. All right, you want me to show it? Look. You want to see its guts, bro? It's right there on the wall, dude. Shit is disgusting. Can I show you the floor? I don't know if the camera reaches. My reaction time was insane on that, though. I'm actually proud of I did not fear. I am a warrior. I killed it with my freaking jacket. That is disgusting. I'm gonna pick it up with the napkin. And I'll throw it. Look, I can actually show you guys it because I have it with the napkin. Here's the homie. It is massive. It is a big dude. Okay, I'm gonna throw it over your back.
And even the goatee I had one time. And he makes
I'm so
his
paranoid now.
aperture care. And then to make matters worse, he goes and besmirches my dog by making a crappy copy of my dog. The spirit of Patty will have his soul for dinner tonight.
Patty is canonically a cannibal now, I guess.
Starting on page C29, he sets me on fire.
So we're getting a quick Asperchu synopsis by Chris. This is great.
I swear, if that ain't the most outrageous thing that he has ever done against me. Start with the course of the
Does he have the whole comic series just downloaded on his PlayStation 3? I think that's what this is. That is crazy. The glazing is insane.
First book, shit, an ass. In between all of his books, so many goddamn of those. And
since when is Chris since when is Chris against swear words? Chris made a whole comic about uncensored sex. This Chris is not above this. Why is he judging all this? This is ridiculous.
I'll admit I have done my little share of nudity within my few pages, within a couple of pages, but they were censored by either images of lemon for vagina.
He's against swear words when it's used against him. It's okay when he does it. That's so true. Literally, that is him.
And if I ever said a swear word within my book, I would censor it. But he does not censor his own swear words. But like I said,
Chris is justifying the use of swear words and nudity by saying I censor them, so it's not that bad. Chris, you still use them. Who cares if it was censored or not? He acts so self-righteous. He's so self-righteous and egotistical. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
Between the belly, the man boobs, the goatee, the glasses, numerous shirts, a fake medal, a copy of my dog, an unapproved recreation of myself and my characters, and even sets me on fire. It makes his quote unquote Sonichu cologne go against me as not being the original creator of the original Sonichu. He wishes he knows my Sonichu Roshu and all my electric hedgehogs as well as I do, but he cannot because he is not me, the original creator. He is not me. So I'd send this message again to Alec, Evan, and even Mao. I have less offense with Sean, by the way, but to those three, die.
Oh
Die in
God.
hell. And I hope the soul of my late dog eats at your souls and kills you in your sleep. But aside from that,
But anyways,
his book is the pages.
it's crazy how Chris has devolved from guys, please leave me alone. Stop the trolling. It's annoying. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. To kill yourself, die, burn in hell. like the devolution of like, please leave me alone, guys. I don't appreciate the harassment, to kill yourself is so like, wow. Y'all gotta stop making fun of my Wawa. I don't appreciate you guys.
And I'm definitely gonna let my pastor know about the Asperpedia and the Asperchew.
The poor pastor having to listen to Chris ramble about his online beef.
Your mockery of my person is not appreciated. Other than that, I leave with most everybody else in peace.
Peace, Chris.
Have a good day. Except for you three, of which I mentioned earlier.
Shortly after, Asperpedia's Mao made a YouTube response video, but it has since been lost. Meanwhile, the Wikipedia sysop, cogsdev, uploaded mailbag 41 for Chris to address, but then soon after, moved all non-Asperture related letters to mailbag 42, making 41 a completely Asperture-filled offering. Instead of responding to the messages in any way, Christian deleted all of them and wrote a 7-point manifesto in their place, proclaiming that he had no relation to Asperchew nor Alec Benson Leary, and wholeheartedly disapproved of his content. In addition, the rejected mailbag section featured a statement from someone who criticized Chris for declaring that Alec was not allowed to bring his Sancho characters into his own story, when Chris himself had never gotten permission from Sega or Nintendo to place their original characters into Sonichu.
Real.
He also commented that the Wikipedia sysop had no say concerning advertisements, which were crucial in keeping the site running smoothly, and felt that Christian's hand-drawn on paper drawing style was inferior to Alec's digital style. Chris requested that he go f*** himself. In addition, he informed
Very simple. Gotta respect Chris's composure there.
Vivian that he would attend his
Straight
first
to the
young
point.
adult social club meeting, where he hoped he would get more exposure concerning his comic book work. It was during this meetup that he met a 23-year-old woman who will be referred to herein as the Wallflower. During her first encounter with Chris, she told him that she was not ready for a relationship. Despite them establishing a friendship, Christian, against her wishes, believed that after some time,
Chris has got to have mad riz that he has these conversations with women on the first encounters with them. Like, this isn't the first time that he does this. Like, he does this like multiple times. Like with all the other gal pals that he's met, like either in person or online.
he could make her into his girlfriend.
I'm gonna hate Chris here. Oh no.
On January 22nd, Chris had his first phone conversation with Alec Benson Leary.
Hi, is this Christian Weston Chandler?
Yes, this is Christian. May I help you?
Hi, Chris. This is Alec Benson Leary. Is it okay if we talk?
It's the man
Oh,
of
yes,
Asperchew.
Sure, yes.
Okay.
So,
Good. Well, there's a couple things I wanted to talk to you about tonight. First of all, I understand you've got a problem with the ads that are on Wikipedia.
okay, well, yeah, I'll let you have your ads on the Wikipedia, but don't make them too big.
The man, the legend.
Leave them in the sidebar.
Okay.
I do not want them covering over the introductory box or anything else where I have to scroll down even to edit the pages or even to log in.
Yeah, my friend Mao, he actually makes the ads for me. I didn't make them myself, but I can try to talk to him about that.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
Just to make it equal, put an advertisement for the Wikipedia on the Asperpedia, about as much as the Asperpedia ads for on my Wikipedia.
That's not how negotiations work, but okay,
Yeah.
Chris.
You'd probably
All
want
right,
to contact
you may-
Mao because he's my manager. He does all the the grunt work on Asperpedia. I'm sure he'd be willing to sell you some ad space on Asperpedia. We
Yeah,
could
that's
definitely try to work something like that
that's
out.
how it works.
All right, well, Mel and I can talk through email. All right.
Like you say, we're on friendly terms right now, and I'd like to keep it that way because I got my start because of you. But to be honest, I want to be honest and frank with you. You made a couple of videos, and I don't watch all your videos, but I do try to keep up. I mean, I spent a lot of time drawing the comics, so I don't have a lot of time to watch videos anymore. But I saw a couple of videos where you actually threatened me with physical
Okay,
harm.
well,
All right, he's stammering. He's
yeah,
stammering.
Okay, well,
Also, the video where you wanted your dog to eat me or something like that. Your dog to eat my soul.
We are literally seeing an incel get confronted, like full on, like by a healthy, like regular human individual.
Like
Yeah.
the death threats were kind of scary to begin with, but that was just a
Yeah.
starter.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that back as well. I'm sorry.
Chris then criticizes the creators of 𝙳ዐսπρⅰ for featuring blood and gore in their recent stories, and tells Alec to inform his readers in a disclaimer that Chris's 𝙳ዐσπρⅰ characters who appear in 𝙳ዐσπρⅰ are parodies.
Well, as you said, those weren't yours, though. You said those were copies. You said those were just, copies of...
Yeah.
Is Chris the first modern incel? I believe so. I would say that. Like, I think genuinely that might be the case. It's very early. Chris was an incel since, like, his college, high school years. So, yeah, I'd say so. The first modern incel belongs to, like, Chris Chan.
I mean, you said in the comics that those were mine, but... So they must be original, right? You said in the comic they weren't the chaotic combo, so they must be original. But then you came and took them. I don't get, and you renamed them, and and not just the combo, but you tried to retake my 𝙳ዐսπρⅰ, and 𝙳ዐսπρⅰ wasn't a copy of anything. You renamed him Mitch 𝙳ዐσπρⅰ. I mean, 𝙳ዐսπρⅰ is mine. I don't really appreciate that.
Okay, well, no, you did take my 𝙳ዐσπρⅰ. And made him claim him to be the original one. And even worse, you made him brother to 𝙳ዐսπρⅰ with the homosexual tendencies and whatnot. Even when you drew the chaotic combo hedgehogs, you made Wild a homosexual when he is not.
Well, but so, Wild's not yours. I mean, what does it matter if my Wild is gay? I mean, I felt it was depth to the character. I was just trying to give them a little personality.
Okay, well...
I mean, 𝙳ዐΣπρⅠ is not... 𝙳ዐΣπρⅠ has a girlfriend, Dixie Chew.
No, actually, I read further in the book, and Dixie Chew dumped his ass.
Well, no, she doesn't mean that. They're destined to be together, Chris. I mean, can't you see those undertones? I mean, that's where this whole comic is going. Even if a girl does dump him, what does it matter? He went after a girl. He didn't go after a boy. Like you said, 𝙳ዐσπρⅠ is his brother. I mean, why would he, even if he was gay, why would he go for his brother? That's just sick. The point is that 𝙳ዐսπρⅠ and my version of the chaotic combo, all those characters, those are not Pokemon in my comics. I mean, Pokemon don't exist in the world of 𝙳ዐΣπρⅠ. Like 𝙳ዐսπρⅠ, he lives with his grandparents in a house. I mean, he's a person.
Okay, all right, but still, it just makes it sound like my characters when you talk about these 𝙳ዐσπρⅠ from Quickville.
But they're not your characters. We've established that. They're not yours. I mean, they're my characters. It's original. Like I said, my comic's not a parody.
𝙳ዐσπρⅠ, and Rose Chew. I actually have paper registered copyrights on those. So I could sue you. But I'm trying to resolve
the threat, oh boy.
You have... Okay, so you have...
Yeah, look under the copyright section on the Wikipedia.
But you said 𝙳ዐσπρⅠ is a Pokemon, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure Nintendo has the copyright claims of Pokemon. So...
Still,
I mean, it's a good point. I might want to just contact Nintendo just to make sure everything's okay, to make sure I'm not stepping on their toes.
Oh, no, the counter argument.
Before and everything's okay, so you don't need to do that.
But, well then, I mean, how can you hold the copyright to a Pokemon?
Virginia Library of Congress has allowed me...
Wouldn't it? Well, Virginia Library of Congress, can't tell Nintendo what to do. I mean, they can't tell Nintendo to just hand over copyrights to their creations to just anybody. I mean, Nintendo could take, the Virginia Library of Congress to court and say, hey, wait a minute, you issued this copyright illegal.
Okay, well, let's just... okay,
Chris just got cornered, man. This is crazy.
Seems pointless to what we were originally talking about. Let's just agree that...
Well, I don't think it's pointless. I mean, I'm just trying to establish that... I mean, you said you could sue me.
This is something to actually take notes of Alec's position on this. This is good.
How you could sue me. That's what I'm confused on. I mean, you're confusing me, Chris. I mean, call me naive, but I just don't get exactly what you're getting at.
Okay, well, let's just rewind and go back to what we agreed on before, readjusting the advertisement size and giving me possible Wikipedia ad on the 𝙳ዐսπρⅠ, and just let the 𝙳ዐσπρⅠ in your book, as Michael 𝙳ዐσπρⅠ, and the other 𝙳ዐσπρⅠs and Rose Chews that of the chaotic non-KI combo.
Okay.
But,
Well.
Let's just rename them by the names I suggested in my book. In your book.
Well, all right. Like I said, I'll talk to Mao about the ads. As far as the renaming goes, I mean, I guess you can include, you can make up some characters, Mike, 𝙳ዐΣନ୍ନ⁰યુ, and Mitch 𝙳ዐΣnnen⁰યુ, and whatever. That's your comic book. If you want to create those characters, that's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to rename my characters.
All right. Well, listen,
Chris, when he doesn't get his way, sigh.
So perhaps we could talk again another time. Well, you take care.
I'd like to talk to you.
Did he just hang up on him? Wow.
Log, which mostly focuses on the controversial Mitch 𝙳ዐΣnnen⁰યુ makeover in 𝙳ዐΣnnen⁰યુ issue 10, which had some readers asking if this meant that Mitch was a homosexual.
First off, I want to give a shout out to the Portland 𝙳ዐΣnnen⁰યુ fan club, and also to Becky, who's doing a paper on me as a modern cartoonist. I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, I stand strong. I continue to draw the pages. Yes, they will be uploaded bulk. I mean, if I can't get 5 in a single day, then I'll still, I'll get them up the next day. But at least I'm doing the average of 2 pages a day. I stand strong.
On January 25th, the Wallflower sent Chris an email listing her various websites, revealing herself to be an amateur writer. Christian admired her skill and wished for them to talk over the phone soon, wanting to exchange more information about each other.
Oh boy.
And wishing to meet again soon.
Oh boy.
Your laughter and voice sweetly thrills my mind like robins twittering their song after the sunrise. In another email, Chris then expressed his wish that they keep the option of a relationship open for when the right time.
Is the Wallflower like an actual woman, or is this another troll? Because if Chris is just falling into another freaking gal pal like troll, this whole bit with Chris and the Wallflower, you're gonna hate Professor. She is an actual woman. Oh boy. I have a doctorate in Riz. Now that is real. That is real. That is real.
Time comes.
Like a full-on stranger he met. Oh wow.
With a friend of hers and offered to meet up some other.
But like, she's actually kind of nice because she's replying and responding fairly normal, and like actually they seem actually fond of each other. So
in Mailbag 46, he defended his tardiness in updating the comic. I have been drawing and coloring on a daily basis. I cannot help if I have a life to enjoy too. I have joined a young adult social group, and I have met a lovely woman there who likes me too. We are hitting it off like 2 hip wallflowers. You have a life too.
She is a stranger. She can't know of how he is.
And let me have my life.
Interesting.
When asked about whether then US President Barack Obama should repeal the Don't Ask, Don't Tell military policy concerning homosexuals to allow them more freedom and encouragement to join the army, Christian stated that the policy should be repealed so that more gay men could die in explosions.
Wow!
It was also around this time that he was linked to a family.
Wow! Wow! That is a take. Wow! I am straight. I would never join the military. Let Obama repeal the policy
so that more
then the homos can go die in explosions. Wow! That is a sentence. Wow. He calls himself a proud American, and then he says this shit. He did the 9/11 thing. What else did he do? What was the other thing that he did? Like earlier in this episode, I already forgot. Like he approved of the Columbine shooters, basically, like unknowingly, of course. But he did the 9/11 joke, and now he says this about people that like go to the military. Professor, I don't think Chris is a good influence for us. I don't think either. But we're observing. This is like history class, guys. So we're observing so that we can know what not to do.
On January 28th, Alec managed to get Chris to answer his phone to have another talk.
I would have especially call at 9:30. But anyway.
I actually did try to call at 9:30. It didn't get an answer, so I thought I'd try again. You're kind of a difficult man to get a hold of, Chris.
They discussed Chris's ongoing woes concerning ads on Wikipedia, copyright issues, and a problem Chris had with Alec's character being named after Asperger's syndrome.
Chris, we don't choose our names. I mean, our names are given to us. I mean, think of it this way. The name 𝙳ዐΣπρ₂, if you think of that as a detriment, I don't, but if you interpret the comic that way, think of it as a personal, a sort of character flaw, if you will, that he has to work to overcome. And all good characters have character flaws.
Sometimes I'm going to fail so bad.
Fiction, but that's part of
You'll be fine, man.
Yeah. but still, I mean, yeah, with that, think about it. I mean, what if your parents had named you Asper? Because they were, like, as if they could foretell you had Asperger. You would have Asperger's.
Again, the character flaw. Asperchu has things weighing him down. He has curses, and that's part of what makes a good character. I mean, you wouldn't make a character that's just, all powerful and perfect in every way and has no real problems ever, would you? That'd be kind of boring. Complex characters have problems that they overcome.
I mean, as an individual, within his own world, outside of your control, Asperger would not want that name. He would be in agreement with me and probably want to change his name to something like Mitch. Right? Have you ever watched the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Bruh?
Yes, I have. It was a good movie.
Yeah, you got the whole toon world there, and within that, it would coincide with the comic book world, and every individual comic, published or unpublished, drawn all together. And within that world actually would reside your Asperger, that he would be with his individual thoughts, and she gave him an adult attitude. Within his individual thoughts, he would hate that having the name of Asperger because it emphasizes his mental problem. And it's like in his process of wanting to move on from that and become more acceptable in society.
This is a deep character study from Chris on Asperger.
That would make him feel
okay,
like
that's
as if he's still living it, even after he's fully recovered from it.
Okay, but Chris, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that was still a movie, and everything in it was predetermined by the movie writers and the director. And I mean, there is no, alternate cartoon world in reality. I mean, cartoon characters don't actually think and feel things.
You obviously are naive about that because you're not understanding that.
Yeah. So this is Chris's actual beliefs.
So you do believe that when an artist creates a cartoon character, that character actually becomes real? Is that what you're saying to me?
Within that universe, yes.
That's pretty
But the
crazy.
universe is fake. I mean, the Asperger universe exists on paper and in my computer. It's whatever I write it to be. Here's a question for you. If you think a character would want, an appropriate name, a good name, not a name that, calls...
It's crazy to think, because I think that's that's still Chris's mentality, if I'm not mistaken, right? That there's this other world with created characters, all fictional created characters, and then there are our world, our real world, and that they will eventually collide. I believe is his prophecy, his gospel, as self-proclaimed Jesus Christ.
Sonichus and Rosechus, those are a species, right?
Yeah,
No.
but he was the first original Sonichu, and she was the original Rosechu.
But wouldn't they still want their own name?
It just got boldened by the idea guys. Oh wow.
Their name on their own.
I have yet to learn about the idea guys. I've heard they are terrible, terrible people. So it's I am terrified to eventually get to them, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if Geno's there yet, because I think Geno's 2019 right now. I don't know when the idea guys show up, but my goodness, I am terrified to eventually get to them.
Would you be comfortable if the name Christian Weston Chandler didn't
He's there?
exist and
All
you were
right.
just called man or person or something?
Okay, well, still, what if you actually conceived a child with your girlfriend or wife? Then, would you feel that you actually own that child?
Getting closer to the
even
jail
if
article,
you had
boy.
raised it from being a baby to, let's say, late teenage years, where that child would actually...
Why is this a conversation that Chris is having with the creator of freaking Asperger? This is I don't know, what are they trying to reach? What is the consensus? What are they negotiating or even speaking about? What is the point of this conversation?
You feel more like an individual, independent being.
Chris, you do understand that a child, a human being, is substantially more than a comic character, right? They're not the same thing. They're not even close. Of course I would name a child. Children are real, and children are not our property. I mean, if I had a child, I would give it all the love and support.
The point has gone and lost by this point. I guess they've become friends now. This is just a podcast
Whereas
episode.
a comic character is just, it's whatever you draw on paper or in Photoshop.
What if she was on the other foot? What if 𝙳ዐսն⁰ created you?
Well, then I'd be a comic character myself, and I wouldn't have any thoughts or feelings. So that's a moot point.
You think that comic character would not have their own thoughts and feelings?
No.
This is very interesting. Oh, wow.
Chris, you have told me that you think that a comic character is fundamentally as much of a person as a real human being. That is the naive thought.
No,
I'm the writer. I'm
Alec is a very good... Would you guys consider Alec a troll? Because as far as I know, Alec has not done much mischievous, has he? Or will he do anything mischievous? Alec seems to be like just wanting to write like this dumb 𝙳ዐսն⁰ comic, even if Alec is a troll, but just really tame. All right, yeah, because like from what it seems from these calls, Alec does not seem pretty bad. He is recording this and gave it to the trolls. Okay, then yeah, I get you. Yeah, he is a troll, but I mean, it's not like he's like harassing Chris. You get me? I mean, he's still trolling, but at least he's like, yeah, he is pretty. So he's a troll, but just really tame, I guess. Because he is like trying to explain these things to Chris.
It's naive to think that there's anything more. I think we should agree to disagree on this point because we both have our own thoughts on it. I'm actually getting some letters about 𝙳ዐսն⁰ about why you're not updating daily, and I was kind of curious about that.
He just seems like a normal guy who likes to make gag comics. Yeah, that's what I think. I'd imagine maybe like he probably got told by trolls to record these conversations, maybe, or either that or he maliciously still wanted to record these conversations. Who freaking knows? But yeah, that's what it seems like. The way that he's talked to him with like a lot of respect, like in the past two phone calls. He's kind of holding a mirror up to Chris, like this is what you look like to people, but also diplomatic and respectful. Yeah, so like Alec is a troll, but like he's what I thought Casey was. He is actually what I thought Casey would have been. What I wish Casey would have been instead.
If I remember right, I think kind of one of the criticisms you had about 𝙳ዐսն⁰ was that it was not completely, hand-drawn original, because I do use Photoshop in part of my creative process. But it sounds like you actually do kind of the same thing, which is, that's fine. I mean, digital media is where
there were some fans that sent him some fan art earlier, but he drove them away. It's crazy. I hate him, dude.
You drew it all on paper and then uploaded it. That was
for your information, I did draw it all on paper. The only part that I edit in Photoshop is
Casey
the text,
walked so Alec could run.
what you read.
Well, it just seems a little hypocritical that you do use Photoshop in the creative process, but you criticize me for it. I mean, don't you think?
No, actually, what I thought is that you skip the hand drawing and you draw everything on your Photoshop with the computer mouse.
What I do, I use a tablet and I draw on that, and that's basically the same thing as pen and paper, except what I draw just goes right onto the computer screen. So I don't use a mouse. It's the same.
Okay, but still, it's crappy compared to mine.
Oh wow! Wow!
Hey, come on, that's a little insulting, Chris. What do you mean crappy? I mean, my mother says that my comic is, the most beautiful comic she's ever seen too, but I kind of think that's just because she's a supportive mother. Mothers are supposed to support their children in their endeavors. I mean, it's okay to disagree.
Chris, ever so humble, of course.
I'm curious why you think it's crappy.
Because it's computer drawn.
Dude, you're such an idiot. Dude, I hate Chris.
I just told you it is hand-drawn. It's hand-drawn on the tablet.
His ego is massive. His ego is showing, Chris. Your ego is showing. Wow. Like, he just called another person... just because it's not his, right? Just because it's not his, he calls everything crappy. he in the same sentence of calling Alec's artwork crappy, he calls his artwork better, which is... wow, just wow. My mommy says my drawings are better than yours, Chris. Quoted, dude. Quoted.
Okay, by comparison, could I say that our car is not, true original transportation because, people should be using
That's a good argument.
Horses? I mean, you use Photoshop for lettering and effects. We're one and the same here, Chris.
His greater-than-you attitude alongside his desire for sex shows how selfish and self-centered he truly is. Yeah. And that's literally Chris's biggest, like, largest character flaw, that he's such an egotistical prick and that he's just so obsessed with the idea of sex. It's super interesting to see how Chris, when he gets properly rebutted in an argument, turns to insults when cornered. It's not even that, he just kind of like, it's like he shrivels up into a corner whenever he is actually like, whenever he doesn't have a response, he just kind of shrivels up into a corner and doesn't know what to say. Like, Chris actually does not know how to, like, argue.